Some action there in the world of football. MPFL at its best. We always want to showcase our own. If you don't know, we'll show it. Really, Nasarawa United versus Remo Star there. They actually carried the day winning that particular match. Welcome you on the show, 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Adini Ajishafe. Well, it's time to look at stories trending in the world of sport. It's been a while that the likes of Taiwo Awuni, they've been on injury list, but right now the young man is getting back to his feet. And the first story we'll be looking at has to do with him. Awuni is set to return in March after scoring 4 goals so far in the EPL, but he went on hiatus because of the injury he sustained, and he's coming back to play football again. And I have in the studio Lauli Peters. Good to have you.
Good evening, Adini. It's my pleasure to be back to studio. I think the team, Nottingham Forest, they need Awuni back, and they need him badly. Currently, they are 13th on the log table with 25 points, and also the points separating them and the last team, the bottom team, Southampton, who is having 18 points, is just few. So what do I mean by it's few? Southampton is having 18 points, and Nottingham Forest, they're having 25 points. So that means they are still not safe from relegation. Before you can be guaranteed that you are not going to be relegated, you must have at least minimum of 37 points. That has been the status quo in Premier League. No team has amassed 37 points and got relegated in the history of Premier League. So we are having 25 points currently now, and you've won only 6 matches from the 23 matches that you've played, and you have one of your striker, your main striker, who is injured and is coming back in March when it is about 2 months to the end of the league. It's a morale booster for the team because they need him, and I'm sure by the time he comes back, he's going to pick form immediately, because the second standard that they are going into now to be the serious battle for relegation. You can see how competitive it is in the relegation zone. If the bottom team, Southampton, is having 18 points and you are on 13 points, 25, so that means the difference between 13th and 20 is just 7 points. So that means you have about 7 or 8 teams that anything can still happen to any one of them. 7 points is just 3 matches or 4 matches, then you are out of it. So that means they really need Awuni to be back and fit to help them in their battle to remain in Premier League. And don't forget also that Nottingham Forest is one of the teams that just got promoted to EPL after many years fighting the battle, and they did that by investing heavily. They changed almost their entire team. They bought close to about 21 new players. I know you say it like Chelsea. I know you say it like Chelsea.
No, I wanted to say Chelsea copied them. Chelsea copied them, but the handbook that Nottingham Forest gave to Chelsea is not working. Maybe next season, I don't know.
Okay, what Chelsea is doing is what they call Project 2030. They're not looking at now.
It's not 2024.
They are looking at between next year and 2030. They want to dominate Europe when it comes to football.
But will it still be with the same Graham Potter?
Is that what?
Same Graham Potter.
Maybe I'll call their chairman and confirm that from you if you want Graham Potter to be there.
They have good players, but it's with the same Graham Potter, and they want to achieve this.
Okay, the truth is for Chelsea to achieve their plan, their goals, their mission, and their vision, they need to change their coach. Graham Potter, it doesn't have it. You know, there's something about experience and exposure. If you don't have it, you can't get it. That's the truth. So that's why some people that they get accelerated promotion or they get hype more than what they think they can do, once they get to, or come and do the job, then you see that they're chicken out and they will fail. It's all about experience. He has never and ever in his life dreamt that one day or very soon he will be where he is by coaching a club like Chelsea. Chelsea, Arsenal, Man U, Liverpool, Tottenham, they are not the type of club that a coach like Graham Potter who said he wants to use to rise to life. He cannot do that. You need an established coach. Look at Mikel Arteta. But some people be looking at, oh, about Mikel Arteta. Arteta has won something. He has won FA Cup. And he has been under the shadow of one of the best coach in the world. So he has learned a lot from Pep Guardiola. He has been with Manchester City. He has seen how to have a winning mentality in the dressing room, on the pitch and off the pitch. So he has the experience. So whatever he's doing right now, it's not try and luck. It's something that he has the experience to do. Imagine Mikel Arteta managing the current squad of Chelsea players. What do you think will happen? So that's the problem with Chelsea. They still need to look for a coach that needs to manage the boys so that they can really achieve whatever the thing they want to achieve.
Just try digressing a bit, talking about EPL there. Well, talking about the team that has to do with Nottingham Forest, Taiwo Awoniyi, the brilliant player right now, is coming back to life after being injured. And we just have to look at Chelsea, well, getting their own right when it comes to football activities in Europe. We leave the issue of Taiwo Awoniyi. Let's talk about the same Premier League. Premier League, the particular story coming up that has to do with the, they call it, well, let's look at that story there. Premier League Westham chairman not impressed as UK government moved to introduce independent football regulator. That's a term that they actually call it, independent football regulator. That will be regulating the Premier League, and a lot of issues coming right here and there. A lot of people are saying, well, good one. Some people are saying no. But the West Ham chairman, in person of David O'Sullivan, saying, well, he's not impressed because he believes that if this comes to life, now a lot of things will happen because they would no longer have that access of say, okay, we are running our football the way we want to run it. The regulator will be in charge, and that will be coming from the government. It's a PR, we call it PR, public relations, that the government is trying to look as if they are helping the fans or they are trying to do things that will favor the fans. But really, in essence, they want to control the Premier League.
Okay, I think the West Ham chairman should concentrate how they are not going to be relegated first.
But it's still part of Premier League.
I know it's part of Premier League, but I think his own focus should be how the team will get better. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with the independent regulator. A white paper has been passed already to the UK government, and the British minister have made it known that they are going to sign it into law. And what do they want to sign into law? Number one, they're going to give, they're going to protect the fans more than the owners. That is the first thing that they want to do, and that's part of what it was recommended. Then number two, they are going to forbid any English player, any English team to join any breakaway team, any breakaway competition. So the issue of them joining the Super League or what have you will not come into play once they sign this one. So I don't think there's reason for the club owners to be scared, because they run a transparent system, and also they're going to avoid the issue of the club owners injecting money directly. So that what happened in the case of Manchester City, that they are still investigating, it will not happen again. So they are going to monitor this end to end. So that is the reason why I think it's only someone that has skeleton in their cupboard that be scared of running a transparent system. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think there's any problem with what they really want to do. And if there's an issue, I'm sure the first set of people that will protest will be the fans. Take it or leave it. But the fans are not protesting. They're even happy about it, because it's giving them more freedom, and it's giving them more opportunity to even contribute and to be part owner of the club, just like we have in Spain, for example. Now, before a club can do anything, you need to get the buy-in of the supporters, but they are part of the shareholders of the company, unlike what we have in Premier League. So what I think they are doing is the right way to go. It's just like what we are doing in Nigerian Professional Football League, Premier League now. It's just like what we are doing now. That some club owners is saying, no, we cannot take their bridge league. No, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You know, when it comes to change, that they are trying to break the monopoly that you are enjoying, that is when they will come and take it or leave it. Like we said during the morning show, this is a white paper coming from the British government. That shows that they are seeing the football, the Premier League, as an investment of the government. They are seeing it as a business that the government themselves, they are interested in, because they know. Do you know the tax that all these players are paying to the UK government? 45%. That is what they pay. I'm talking about the players. The income tax, the corporate tax also is about 20% that they pay. So that's a lot of money. Imagine signing a player for Osimhen that we spoke about 107 million. If Manchester United, probably they have money or they borrow money, they want to buy Osimhen because we know currently now they are broke because they are even on the market looking for someone to buy them. If they want to buy Osimhen, for example, right now, they're going to pay a tax to the government from the amount of money that is coming into them. So if they are selling players, they are going to pay tax from it. If they sign players and they are paying the players their wages or whatever, they are paying tax that goes direct, and they have a system that you cannot evade the tax, take it or leave it. It's direct from source. So they are looking at it and seeing it as a business. So that is why they are more concerned about regulating it and bringing in an independent regulator to come and fine-tune all the loopholes that they are envisaging for now.
Just as he has mentioned, let's quickly look at those, the role of the Premier League regulator right now. Let's quickly look at those roles that they have been outlined that test the fitness of new owners that will be coming to the Premier League to buy clubs. They want to see how buoyant they are and how responsible they actually are. Ensure clubs are run sustainably, and you also look at resolve issues around how money flows from Premier League down the pyramid, and you have the stop clause from joining breakaway leagues at the Super League, like we mentioned. It actually outlined all these reasons, but right now the role of this particular regulator, those are the four roles majorly that will be coming up there. Well, we wait to see what's going to be happening concerning the Premier League. If Westham chairman David O'Sullivan and others who are not too happy with this policy coming up in England, let's see, maybe they will be the one to win, or the Premier League will actually get its own act done there, trying to see how they can better the lot of their own Premier League, just the way IMC are working hard to see our own MPFL get better here in Nigeria. It's always very difficult to start those policies that will actually favor or change things for the better, but by the time you key into it, it will go places there. Well, for you, talking about the Premier League. Now, let's look at fixtures meant for tonight in 4 leagues in Europe. We have Fulham versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, Elche, Real Betis, Borussia Mönchengladbach against Mainz 05, and you have Lille versus Brest there in French League 1. But we start with Fulham, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Those are this is the particular match in EPA that will be coming up. But you look at Fulham, really, they've been a team that you wonder how they are doing it, but they've been among the big boys there, among the top 10.
Yeah, they've been among the top 10, and they are working towards seeing if they can make it to the Conference League. That's the truth, and that will be something that they will really, really appreciate. And they have players that they are also informed, and their team also, you can't pinpoint that this is the only player that it will mark you out. Like, for example, now, Mijatovic, their striker, everybody look at him, but he's injury prone. Today we'll play, tomorrow we'll not play, but they'll still win their match. So it's not about if we mark out
the striker,
a particular player. So they play more like a team. The Wolves also, I think they are not really getting their rhythm this time around like the Wolves that we used to know before. Anytime Wolves is playing with Arsenal, take it or leave it, Arsenal will shake. Because they have their key. You know, in football there is tradition. No matter how good you think you are, no matter how informed you are, there are some traditional club that once you are playing with them, it will be very difficult for you before you can win them. So however the situation is, I think Fulham currently right now, like all other London clubs, they are doing very, very, very well. So I see them trying to win tonight's match to really prepare them to above where they are now. Yes. Before you make your comments, the issue of all the London clubs doing very well is Arsenal, for example.
Yes, they are top.
They are topping for now.
Yes.
And before they got to where they are right now, we have a club from same London that have done very well by representing the London clubs. Chelsea. That's what he wants to say. Yes, they are not among the top 10 right now. They are where they are, but they'll still move up where they are.
I'm sure if I had mentioned, if I had been, let's assume the table turn now, you could have said, oh, past glory. They are dwelling on past glory. But right now, the Gunners are topping the table. So among the London clubs that are performing very well, we have Arsenal, we have Fulham,
we have
Tottenham Hotspur, then Chelsea.
Definitely in that order.
But there's Chelsea is in one coming number 4 now.
No, there's one thing about life that I really want you to really understand. Now, you can't be at that peak forever and ever. There will be a time that you need to really understand the true virtue of life. That is when you need to nosedive to taste what. Okay, for example, now they say we should be fasting. Why do we need to fast? To be able to see how it is for those people who are poor outside there that they cannot afford 3 square meals, apart from the spiritual realm that comes with fasting and the prayer. You should also feel what people are feeling outside there.
That's why
so
Chelsea
are feeling, what they are feeling currently now is what the likes of Arsenal, Frown, and Tottenham they felt before. So it's nothing wrong about it. And please, stop attacking me anytime I'm on set when it comes to Chelsea. I'm not here to talk about Chelsea or to defend Chelsea. I'm here to analyze sport without biasness. For now, Arsenal, they are doing very well. You can't take it away from them. But they've just played 23 matches from 38 matches. They still have how many matches to play? How many matches?
You just attack Arsenal now.
No, I didn't attack them. I'm just saying that it's like I said in the morning, Manchester United, nobody's looking at them. But don't be surprised. They might win the league.
Of course.
Because currently right now, they're even more informed than the Arsenal you are talking about. They are more informed than the Manchester City you're talking about.
But they are not leading the table.
But the league has not ended.
And
what would be more painful for people like you and other Arsenal fans is by the end, at the end of the season.
Yes.
If you do not win this league,
no, anything can happen. I'm not saying they've won it, but what I'm saying is
no.
Don't
change it. You have the perception that they are winning it.
But for now, they are.
Do you believe they'll win it or not?
Well, anything can happen. They can win it and they may not. It depends.
Are you really
but
sure?
right now they are topping. The elephant is back to the top of the tree.
Oh, they're back to the top of the tree.
Oh my goodness. That's why I add some banter there. Really, we've been talking about football, not forgetting the fact that matches will be coming up in Europe. We're talking about Elche also be playing, and not forgetting Borussia Mönchengladbach. They will also be playing that game. And aside that, you have Lille against Brest. All these matches coming up in Europe, and quickly, we just have to look at some stories trending in the world of football when it comes to transfer, even though it's close. But so there's still some gossips that come up from there. Romelu Lukaku is a player that has been with Chelsea for a while. He will go and come back, but now he's been with Inter Milan on loan. And right now, the man is saying he's not keen to return to Chelsea when his loan spell at Inter Milan ends.
I think it's a good one for him, because currently now, if you look at the Chelsea squad, 32-man list is too crowded. That's the truth. And when he came back, he didn't discover that his form is better off in Serie A than in Premier League. So as far as I'm concerned, Chelsea also, I'm sure they'll be very happy to take off the 16 million pounds that they are paying him annually off their wage bill. So I think it's going to be a win-win situation for both the Chelsea and Romelu Lukaku to just remain where he is right now.
Well, let's see what will happen to the Belgian Romelu Lukaku. Will he be staying really in Inter Milan, or Chelsea really get him back? That's another story for another day there. Everton to move for Udinese forward. Beto really is getting a little of attraction from Everton after a huge bid rejection in January. They wanted him in January, but they could not. But right now, they are coming back to knock at the door again to see how the Udinese player Beto can join them. He's from Portugal.
Yes, it's a very good one. And you know, all the Portuguese player that moved to Premier League, irrespective of the club they are playing,
they perform very well.
They fit in very, very well. But I think Everton also, what it needs to do now is to make sure that they remain in Premier League before they can attract any player, because no player wants to come to Premier League to play in second division. Not at all.
Championship.
They don't want to play in the Champions League. They want to play in the Premier League, and for them to do that, they have to remain in the league. So they are focused right now. The transfer window has already closed. That's the truth. It's not going to open until around June, July. So what they should focus more on is how to win more matches and to remain in Premier League. He's a very good striker. Take it or leave it. And I'm very sure if Everton should remain in Premier League next season, and the right money comes for him that is beneficial to his own club and to him in terms of the personal agreement, definitely nothing stopping from joining Everton. And they have to be very careful also, because we have a lot of hijackers in Premier League. They don't bid for any players. They'll just sit down and watch. Once they see, oh, you are negotiating.
You come for the players.
They just come for the players, and before you know it,
I don't want to mention name now.
No, you can mention name.
I don't want to mention name, but already you know those clubs that do that in
yes,
EPL.
Chelsea, they are fan of doing that in EPL, and also Barcelona also they are fan of doing that in La Liga also. So it's
funny enough, both of them they know how to do the business and they do it to themselves.
They do it to themselves also.
What a way to go. Talking about Beto, the Portuguese player who plays for Udinese right now, getting attention of Everton. They really want to get him, but they need to be in the EPL there, according to Olale Peters. If they have to get a lot of players, they need to remain in the Premier League, at least fight for that place first before you begin to look at players. Now let's look at Liverpool. Liverpool's midfielder Fabinho, who has been there for the past 5 years, right now could exceed after those years I mentioned at Anfield. He's been with them for a while, so.
Yes, for 5 years, and I think he has won everything. He has won Premier League, he has won Champions League. Game. So I think it's the best thing for him to do is to try his luck somewhere else. And if you look at the composition of Liverpool midfield right now, it's not a regular starter. That's the truth, and that affected his place at the World Cup for Brazil. So what he needs now is a club where he can be a regular first level, and it's a fantastic player also, a very good defensive midfielder that if the likes of Manchester United can get, just like McTominay, that they want McTominay to leave, they can get someone like Fabian. He will do a very good job for them in Manchester United. He's tall, skillful, he has the strength, he has the pace, and his passes also are killer passes at times.
Well, that would be nice if Liverpool, from the way it is, they can really catch in on Fabinho, who actually has spent 5 years, and Jurgen Klopp, the manager of that club that never walk alone, is trying to see how he can turn this around with the Cups, as they call them. Fabinho has been fantastic for Liverpool, despite not having much playing time, but he's always giving them his best anytime he's being called upon to play for Liverpool. That will be it on 360 Sports. We have been talking concerning activities in the world of sport there. Well, I am Adeniyi Ajisafe, and I've been with Olale Peters. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure being here, Adeniyi. Thanks for having me.
Good one there. Thanks for watching.